When I was little, I really didn't think it was going to be this hard to find someone.
I don't know what's going on these days, but I swear to God, it seems like everybody is having trouble dating.
I just wanted to remind everyone, if he wanted to, he would.
I deserve to have my life fully funded by men, fully funded by...
Delusion is one of those things that seems to never leave women, no matter the age.
Sometimes dating the nice guy just isn't enough. Let me explain.
The number one question I get asked is where to meet good men. Like,
girls that don't like guys are the best girls to date.
Like, dead ass, what happened to the real? It's like, what happened to that's gone?
Nothing happened to those men. Majority of them chose peace instead of constant chaos. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
To the men out there that want to be chased like Drake, what do you have to offer that would make a woman want to chase you?
You know, it's actually so crazy that women do not say sorry.
Nothing grosses me out more than when a man...
Okay, ladies, I hate to say it. Why do we never give the nice guy the chance?
The best advice I can give any woman in the dating scene right now is to do nothing.
The weirdest thing I've noticed in dating culture is like no one is trying to make a girl.
Just annoyed with the fact that it takes me so long to find somebody that I'm actually...
Why do men avoid women with high body counts when it comes to marriage?
I agree.
Hey, one thing about it, if we're talking and you ask me if I can get a babysitter, babe, we ain't gonna be talking no more. I barely want to hang out with a man for free. You think I want to pay to hang out with one? No, child, I don't. I'd rather hang out with my kids anyway. Goodbye.
The thing is that no man wants to pay for anything extra outside of the things that are normal within a first date in order to convince you to go on a date with him. And in my opinion, a babysitter is really outside of what is normally expected for a first date. And even though it's just one night, one babysitter, he knows that if he says yes to that, he is signing up to be a partial caretaker in those kids' lives. Kids that he doesn't even know. Heck, he doesn't even know if he likes their mom. Honestly, I don't think that good men that know their value are saying yes to this. Because those men are just going to feel a little bit shocked, but then they're just going to walk away and they're going to find somebody else. But if by chance you find a man that does say yes, it's only because he sees it as temporary. Because he's seeing you as just being a short-term option. I said what I said.
Imagine expecting a man to pay for your time and get a babysitter for you on the first date. They have a name for that, you know. That's not dating, that's transactional. And yet, many of these single mothers say things like this and wonder why a majority of men ignore them. It's like they don't realize that men aren't just looking for someone to provide for. They're looking for peace, femininity, and mutual value. If a woman comes into a situation acting entitled, expecting a man to fund her lifestyle and solve her problems before a real connection has even been made, what message is she sending? That her time is more valuable than his? That he has to prove himself before she even shows basic effort? This mindset turns dating into a job interview, not a chance to genuinely connect. And men are waking up to it. They're not signing up to play hero in someone else's story when they're not even being respected in return.
Women don't hate getting older because they're afraid of losing their beauty. They hate getting older because they wasted their beauty on your disgusting son.
I actually have an answer for this. So, where are we supposed to meet nice guys, and do they actually exist? They do, and I'll tell you where they exist. They're in the graveyard. The good men are sadly no longer with us. So we're left with the ones that are alive. And if they're alive, then they're married already. So yeah, they're either married or in the graveyard.
I need everybody to lock in and answer this question. How are people dating in 2025? You don't have the apps. If I don't have Hinge and I don't have Raya or Bumble or I don't have those. I don't want those. How are y'all meeting people? I feel like I go out and I go to events and, you know, I'm out and about and nobody approaches anybody. No, I'm not kidding. I went to a work event at a bar last week. I stood at the bar by myself for 10 minutes. Not one person approached me. And it's not like on some, you know, like, oh my God, I think I'm just hot shit and like somebody should, no, not at all. I'm not even talking about like getting somebody a drink. Just coming up and saying hi, introducing yourself. How the fuck are y'all meeting people? I don't understand. I go out all by myself. I go to Starbucks. I get coffee. I go to sporting events. Nobody approaches me. I don't understand. How are y'all meeting people? I don't get it. Is it just Instagram now?
This is honestly just the effects of the modern landscape that women have created. This woman went out to a bar by herself and was shocked that no man approached her. The way the dating scene is going, a lot of men are now prioritizing themselves even more. They're focusing on their peace, their goals, their money, and walking away from situations where they feel unappreciated or undervalued. And, as she mentioned, even when women go to events, they still can't find a man. That's because men have realized the game has changed. Approaching a woman nowadays isn't as simple as it used to be. There's fear of rejection, being misunderstood. We're now in an era where women say they don't need men, but then wonder where all the good ones went. Well, the truth is, many of those good men got tired of chasing after women who don't reciprocate, and now they're chasing purpose instead.
Why do men avoid women with high body counts when it comes to marriage? It's not just about the past. It's about the future. When a man asks about your past relationships, he's thinking long-term about trust, emotional depth, and comparison. The more partners someone has had, the harder it can be to truly bond with just one person. It's not about judgment. It's about the emotional baggage that can come with multiple relationships. Think about it. When you've been with many people, you unconsciously compare your current partner to those past experiences. It makes it harder to fully appreciate who's in front of you. Men crave loyalty, trust, and the feeling of being enough for their partner. A high body count can make him feel like he'll never measure up, like he's competing with ghosts from the past. So before you dismiss this as insecurity, understand that for many men, it's about building something real and lasting, free from past shadows. And if you're serious about love, maybe it's time to start thinking about how your past shapes your future.
And I'm tired of being single.
And I'm not capable to find someone who is able to get interested in me, in myself, for a long time. I don't know. It's only about superficiality, relationships.
If we required commitment before sex, we would have more relationships.
I don't even condone drink dates. As a man, societally, he gets paid more. And his time that he has more of because he's not doing hair, makeup, and shaving his legs.
I would love to know, what do we need y'all for?
Women don't need men in order to make money to provide for themselves or take care of themselves.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls don't cry over a boy in a car. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls don't need a boy.
I'm so sick of this. Like, I'm so sick of not feeling like a priority to you.
I need somebody to have my back. I do. I'm admitting it. I could say I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, but I am saying I want a man, and I need a man.
This is just the reality for many women. Now that they finally want a boyfriend or a serious relationship, they can't get it. And it's not because men have disappeared. It's because of the choices they made. This is what happens when you participate in hookup culture, chase attention, and treat relationships like a game. You can't spend years valuing temporary pleasure over long-term connection, and then suddenly expect commitment to come knocking at your door. And honestly, it's really hard to feel sympathy for most of them, because they've done this to themselves. You can't expect to build something meaningful on a foundation of meaningless flings. Relationships require trust, loyalty, and genuine effort. Now, the same women who used to say, "I don't need a man," are out here crying about being alone. But what they're really mourning is the consequences of their own choices. They've earned that position.
I would rather be the one that got away than the one that stayed and got played. 10 out of 10, all day. Get somebody else to do it.
Just because he has money doesn't make him generous. You want a generous man? Trust me, it's so much better, easier, and he won't be only generous with his money, but his time and his love and affection.
I deserve to have my life fully funded by men.
I'm just curious, but why does it seem that a lot of women out there
have this particular mentality? Why do they deserve to have their lives paid for? I mean, why?
I want my nails paid for. I want my toes paid for. I want my shopping paid for. I want my hair paid for. I want my makeup paid for. I want everything paid for.
You know, there's actually a term that very accurately describes someone who has to live off of the lives of others.
And you know who's going to pay for it? You are.
You know, the saddest part of this is, and it's not the fact that they're basically advertising that they have no marketable skills and are having to live off of their looks alone. I wonder what they're going to do when they're not in their 20s or even their 30s anymore, and they start progressing towards their 40s and their 50s. I wonder if they actually have any job skills. No, but the saddest part about this is that there are actually a lot of men out there that would be more than happy just to pay for it to get her attention.
She's clearly advertising the first job in the world. I dated a girl like this, yeah, and when we broke up, I was suddenly an abusive and controlling boyfriend. Her daddy lied to her, said she was the most prettiest princess on the planet. Her daddy lied. Again, what are you bringing to the table, Missy? 'Cause your beauty won't help pay bills. I'm confused. Wasn't the whole point of women fighting for their rights because they didn't want to rely on men? Now this woman is saying that men should be funding her lifestyle, basically her existence. And the crazy part? In today's time, many women think like this. They claim independence until the bill comes. Suddenly it's a man's job to pay. They want equality when it's convenient, but traditional treatment when it benefits them. It's no longer about equal opportunity. It's about double standards. You can't say you don't need a man, then turn around and demand one funds your lifestyle. That's not strength. That's entitlement. These same women who scream, "I'm strong and independent," are the first to say, a real man would pay for everything. If men are expected to be protectors, providers, and planners, what exactly are these women bringing to the table besides expectations? It's a contradiction that's turning more and more men away from modern dating.
Why can't I find a nice guy like you? Is there literally anything more annoying that can come out of a woman's mouth? Whether it's a friend, someone you've just met, someone you're talking to online. Why can't I find a nice guy like you? Well, lady, I'll tell you, there are nice guys everywhere. It's just that you don't want them, or they're invisible to you, or you friend zone them. Men, tell me I'm right. Or is there something more annoying that women say to you?
I don't know who need to hear this, but it's okay to on the first night. It's like a test drive. You gotta ride it, see if you like it. You can't just go for the looks. What if it don't ride smooth? Gotta see if you can fuck with it. I'm telling you. Gotta see if you can fuck with it. 'Cause you don't want to fall in love and then you stuck with something that don't ride smooth. Like, nope, can't do it.
I often get asked the question, where do I find good guys? How can I find the right person? That question is a really good question, and my answer to that is they could be right in front of you. It could be that they are there, but you're not able to actually see them and you're not able to actually pick them out. And the reason could be because your subconscious beliefs and the things that have happened to you in the past. So the key is to let go of all of what is clouding your judgment and making it harder for you to see that the good guys are actually there.
This couldn't be more true. The good men have always been right there. But these women are the ones overlooking them, pushing them into the friend zone, calling them too nice, or simply not giving them a chance. Then they turn around on TikTok, crying and asking, "Where did all the good men go?" As if they didn't spend years ignoring them. And honestly, many of these women who start asking, "Where are the good men?" only begin doing so once they reach a certain age, when the attention that used to flood in starts to dry up. It's no longer about love or connection at that point. It becomes a survival tactic. It's not about finding a good man. It's about finding someone to clean up the mess left behind. They're not looking for love. They're looking for rescue. Basically, when they say, "I want a good man," They're saying since my plan A didn't work, which is with the players, I'll settle down with plan B, the nice good guys, and it's honestly disgusting.
You know, it's actually so crazy that women do not say sorry. Women do not apologize. Instead, women gaslight men into apologizing for things that they're not even at fault for. And then these same women will sit there and wonder why their relationships don't work out. I'm sorry, they won't sit there and wonder why their relationships don't work out, because that would take some self-accountability and reflection, because that would take some real work, right? That would take some real accountability. So instead, they take the easy way out. They blame men.
Everyone should have a hoe phase. I truly believe that. Because I see it as like, if you have a high number, I would rather have you get that out of your system now.
Yeah.
And like once we're together, like you want to settle down. And the same thing for women. Like I feel like guys should have the same perspective. Like, okay, they got that out of their system. Everyone should have a hoe phase. I truly believe that. So have that hoe phase, and it shouldn't matter, because also when you meet someone, like let's say two people meet at 31, you guys have lived a whole life of not knowing each other. Like,
you think you're gonna meet me at 31 and like I haven't lived,
you've been locked away in a castle, like
literally
protecting
waiting
yourself?
for someone to ask my dad if they can marry me.
Be so for real.
Men, if you're out shopping for anything and you see a woman that just keeps popping up, she's not just popping up for no reason. That girl is stalking you. She is hoping to God that you will say something. She's attracted to you. Say hi.
He probably doesn't care, because for one, he's not shopping for a girlfriend. He's literally shopping for something else, and he's just busy trying to find that something else, and then he wants to get out of there. Two, if you're the one interested in him and you can't even just say hi, because you could literally say anything to a man to show that you're interested in him and to start a conversation. But the fact that you can't do that, it doesn't bode well for a potential relationship where you're unable to communicate things to him. He would rather cross out that potential relationship. Lastly, 3, he's not falling for it. He does not believe you. He has been trained to believe in, quite honestly, the opposite, that women are not interested in him, because he doesn't want to fall into the trap of misinterpreting a woman's actions and thinking that she's interested in him when she isn't. And then he could be labeled a creep, which is interesting because it's her that's the stalker, not him.
I would have to agree. And this is one of the many issues that women have. She can literally be interested in the man, but somehow expects him to pick up on subtle signs instead of just being direct and shooting her shot. If that woman is popping up at the store, showing up in his space, glancing over but saying nothing, she expects him to read her mind, make the move, and of course, chase her. And the truth is, you can't date a woman like that. That kind of passive, entitled approach doesn't work anymore. Men are tired of guessing, tired of playing this mind-reading game. In a time when women claim to be bold, empowered, and independent, it's ironic that many still rely on old-school fairy tale dynamics, where the man is supposed to pursue endlessly, even with no clear green light. Dating isn't a guessing game. If you're interested, say something. Do something. This mentality keeps so many women single, not because they're not attractive, but because they expect effort without giving any.
I'm 20 and I've never had a relationship because I want a high-value provider as a boyfriend. But in the beginning, people tell me to lower my standards just to start. If you're young and single, good, that's how it's supposed to be. You should be young and single. You should be trying and dating guys and testing them to see if that they're going to be a long-term provider for you.
But every single time this happens, I always tell myself, like, oh, you'll get over it, or like, you're over him, it'll be fine, right? I haven't blocked his number, and he hasn't texted me since he ghosted me. He hasn't, not once. He ghosted me once, and then he ghosted me twice. The second time before he ghosted me, he's like, I want to make it up to you, I want to take you out on a date, I can't stop thinking about you, you did nothing wrong.
As he comes back into the car, he tells me, I don't think we're gonna have a good time. And I thought he was kidding, and I'm like, huh? He's like, I'm taking you back home, you're not my type. Oh my God. I'm sure it's because I'm overweight that he didn't want to go, like, continue the date or whatever. And I'm just like, wow, like,
It was so fucking awkward. But people don't just want to date me in my day-to-day life. Like, if he was actually interested, then the date probably would have gone better, you know? Like, this is our second date, and he's not once told me that I was pretty or that I looked nice. And he doesn't, like, ask me questions about myself. And I know that the answer is he's just not interested. Like, I'm aware of that. But, like, neither is anybody else. And at some point, I don't want to be single forever.
This is why making choices is so important. A lot of these women are now saying, I don't want to be single, or I don't want to be single forever. But when you look at their past and the choices they made, it's clear their path was always leading them exactly to that outcome. What they fail to understand is that life doesn't pause while you figure it out. Time moves forward, and if you keep making short-term feel-good choices, don't act shocked when the long-term consequences show up at your door. Being single forever wasn't the plan, but for many, it's becoming the result. These chicks are now stuck in accountability mode, a stage they never thought they'd reach. It's that brutal phase where the illusions fade and reality finally hits. This is where the weeping starts, the crying, the late-night TikToks talking about, where are all the good men and why am I still single? But it's not the world that changed, it's just that their time ran out.
Since I have some awesome guys on TikTok right now listening, I'm thinking, may I have your opinion, please? What is it with men these days and not wanting to date? Do you guys have a fear of commitment? Is it the woman these days? Does it have anything to do with spending money on women? Does it have anything to do with trust issues? Maybe dating apps? Maybe you feel like there are endless options in terms of significant others? Please let me know in the comments.
I hope you guys are happy you canceled catcalling. Okay, I just walked past a group of construction.
Who do you think canceled catcalling? I hope you don't think it's the women. No, y'all don't have any real influence over us like that. You may think you do, but you don't. No, it was the men that just decided they didn't want to do it anymore because they got better shit to do now. And besides, we get more enjoyment out of watching y'all starve for attention than to actually give it to you. Because when we starve you out, the shit that y'all will do for our attention is completely entertaining. And we can see it all for free. Especially since y'all are begging for all this money. We're like, well, we just won't give them any attention. And they'll go through the extremes to make sure that they get our attention. And one will try to outdo the other. And we can see it all for free. Are you kidding me right now?
As I get ready for this date, let me tell you, because this should not be a secret. Are there good men on online dating sites? 100% yes. 100% yes. How do I know this? Because I know there are good women on those sites. The problem is, however, finding a high value man or a high value woman on those sites, unless you are paying for them, is very, very rare, and it's very, very hard. So unless you're paying $50 a month for, say, a Match.com or an eHarmony, where you're actually taking it very seriously, the likelihood that you're going to match with somebody on a free Bumble, free Hinge, or free Tinder, very unlikely. Those websites are a business. They are meant to keep you on those sites. This is that whole saying, you get what you pay for. So if you're not paying for something, you're not going to get the highest value return on your investment in terms of intention with the person that you're matching with. I decided that when I was ready to start dating again, I was going to solely date with intention, meaning I was going to put myself out there and I was just going to start doing things that I enjoy doing, hoping that I would meet somebody else who's enjoying that same thing, doing that same thing. And sure enough, I did. I went out to dinner with a girlfriend of mine just to have a nice dinner, just to have a nice experience. As we're leaving dinner, I look over and I see a very attractive man, alone, no wedding ring, sitting at the bar. I made a beeline for the 2 bar stools sitting next to him. And instead of turning my back to him to just talk to my friend, I'm dating with intention. I left my body language completely wide open, giving him the perfect segue to say, oh, are you guys waiting for a table? This is where it has to be a little bit of give and take. Not a lot, but a little, right? Because I saw him, he didn't see me. So how do I expect a man to pursue me if he doesn't know I exist?
Too many women are on dating apps looking for high-value men, but the reality is, most of those men aren't even on those apps. And the few that are, they're overwhelmed with options. The thing is, women are all competing in the same pool, chasing that top 10% of men. The guys who are successful, attractive, charismatic, and financially stable. But what they don't realize is, every other woman is after that exact same guy too. These women are swiping, posting thirst traps, crafting perfect bios, and still getting ghosted or breadcrumbed. Why? Because when you're competing for the top 10%, you're stepping into a high-stakes game. That man has options, lots of them, and unless you stand out with more than just looks or superficial conversation, you're just another name in a long list of DMs.
The reason why women regret losing a good man is because she realizes that she was actually the problem, but her immaturity blinded her from actually seeing that and loving him correctly. The best way to get a woman to regret losing you is by being a good person who's genuine, honest, words matching your actions, good character, and you just take care of yourself and you're confident. If you can do all of that while you're with her and after you are with her, yeah, you're a success. And to the people telling me, oh, this doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for me, that's because that's the reality that you have. And you are literally insecure. That's why you're saying that things aren't working out for you and that women don't like you and that women don't find you attractive, is because you already think that. And when you have that mindset, women are repulsed by it. So obviously it doesn't work for you because you talk down on yourself on the internet to strangers.
Unpopular opinion, and the girls is going to eat me up for this. You're not all on the level to think you're going to meet a man who's already established and at the top. Okay, so hear me out. You know what happened to like very much, all I got is $1 and a dream, but you're gonna roll with me, roll. Because some of y'all, that's what y'all, nothing wrong with it. And some of that's what y'all need to be trying to attract, searching for, chasing down. Instead, y'all so focused on who's going to get the hottest, the richest, the most lit. I'm not going to say, or should I say ask the most controversial question, because I don't always agree with it. What do you bring to the table? Okay? But for some of y'all, I will ask, why do you feel so entitled? Humble yourself, mama. I want you to find love. Everybody's not in the same. Yeah.
Once again, too many women are out here waiting for the finished product. A man who already has the money, the house, the lifestyle, the status. Yet they're not willing to put in any work with a man to build that life together. They want the reward without the effort. The majority of them want a ready-made man handed to them on a silver platter. And when you ask them why they think they deserve that, their only response is, because I'm a woman, or do you not see me? Like, what is that even supposed to mean? Since when did just existing become the qualification for a high-value man? This mindset is entitlement at its peak. They don't want to build with you. They want to benefit from what you've already built. They skip the struggle, but expect to enjoy the success. But what they don't realize is, men remember who was with them when they had nothing. And the majority of women today don't deserve a high-value man. Many just aren't qualified.
I've always expected my partner to pay all my bills and do everything financially for me because I grew up watching my mom go to work every single day, work in between men, and her ex-husband lay at home, do nothing. And then after like a long abusive marriage like that, where she was the provider, he ended up cheating on her with a younger woman. Now he has a family with this woman, and guess what? He is providing everything for this woman. He is working and paying all the bills. Why is he doing this now? Because that woman expects him to. There is no other option. He cannot be with that woman unless he works. And with my mom, her ex-husband, he knew if he worked or if he didn't work, she would still continue to provide and stay because of the children. I need women to understand that men will say they want good women, but good women never get rewarded. It's always like, oh, I want a day one girl. I want a girl that has been there from the beginning. But those women get literally later on cheated on.
Then to that, I would say, your mum made a bad decision in choosing a man. She chose a man who was lazy, a man who stayed home and did nothing, offered no leadership, no direction, no ambition. And not only did she not leave, she stayed in that toxic situation for years. A long, abusive marriage where she tolerated disrespect, emotional neglect and dysfunction. And now you're shocked she got cheated on. But today in modern dating, many women want men who are providers, leaders and protectors. But the reality is, they don't qualify for that kind of man. They bring nothing to the table except demands. They want high-value treatment, but come with low-effort behavior. They think just being a woman is enough. But femininity isn't just a gender, it's an energy. It's how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you treat a man, and how much peace you bring into a relationship.
Every time a man says that he is intimidated by me, I want to show him something. I literally just slit my toe in half. Also, not the first time it's happened. So stop being intimidated by very hot, attractive women, because we are all not perfect, even though I know we like to pretend we're perfect. It's not that we pretend we're perfect. I think we are just really hot. So I just want to let you know that we also break our toe every now and then. Okay? So we're not perfect. We're not. So stop being intimidated because it's annoying.
So lately I've just been super content with being single and kind of just being independent and doing my own thing, that I've adopted this mindset that the guy can just come find me and put in the effort towards finding me, despite not being on any dating apps whatsoever. I think when you're so content with being single, you just raise your standards and you have this whole new level of self-love and constantly remind yourself that you're the prize, that you don't have to put any energy towards finding somebody, because that's not a priority to you at the end of the day. And so coming from this mindset of like, yeah, he can come find me, I'm just going to continue doing me, has really just enriched my life in so many ways, because I'm doing things that are making me happy. I'm trying out new things. I'm doing new activities. I'm traveling. I'm spending more time with my friends and getting closer with them. And I don't know, I just feel like my life, not putting that focus towards dating and finding anyone, it's just making my life more like, I just feel like I'm reaching a whole new level of self-love that I hadn't discovered, a few years back. And I feel like this mindset is also going to attract the right person into my life, because I just don't even want to settle anymore. And so realizing that, I can continue doing me and that the guy can just try to find me has just made me a lot more happier and worry-free, to be honest.
This woman is confused. She's out here saying she's not putting relationships first. She's traveling, having fun, living her life, and that her man will come find her. What she doesn't understand is that time is already working against her. While she's catching flights and posting selfies for likes, the clock is ticking and it doesn't care about her fun. The longer a woman stays in this fun and travel mode, the harder it becomes to find a good man. Not because good men don't exist, but because the mindset she's cultivating during that time, independence without accountability, freedom without structure, starts to harden. She becomes used to doing everything for herself and answering to no one. Suddenly, compromise feels like control, and submission feels like oppression. By the time she's ready to settle down, her dating pool has shrunk, her standards have inflated, and her appeal to high-value men has declined.